with the 5th overall pick in the 2011 draft, a fleet-footed 6'11" big man out of Lithuania, Jonas Valanciunas. Then there's Rudy Gay, and it's Johnson in at the 4 spot. And then for the Indiana Pacers, at the 1 and 2, George Hill and Lance Stevenson. And starting 7'2", one of the true giants in the game, another great big man out of Georgetown, Roy Hibbert. Then it's Paul George, and it's West in at the 4-man position.
You know, it wasn't a surprise that the Raptors struggled on the road. Most young teams do. They were 13 and 28 as the visiting team. They did end the year looking a lot more dangerous on the road than they started, though.
And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
Well, most of all, I just love the work he puts in on the offensive glass. So many of his points come on putbacks just because of sheer hustle.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't also mention his supreme shot blocking. And he doesn't do it softly. He comes up with emphatic denials.
Now here is Lowry. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Well, Clark, you were talking about the Raptors' struggles on the road. They didn't have the best road record at the end of the season, as you said, but, Steve, they did show some bite with their play.
You know, one of the interesting stats from the Raptors last year is they actually scored more points on the road than they did at home, and that rarely happens in the NBA. But I think the big thing with Toronto, their defense has to improve more than anything else.
Here is Lowry. Roy Hibbert picking up that last basket. Lowry kicks to Gay. Clock at 6. And it's Paul George with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Well, he tried to step in and cut him off, but just not quick enough.
And we have the benefit of replay, but I think they got that one right, which is the case most times, even though fans don't think so.
And the pass to Lowry. No good. Excellent D there from George.
You know, after the Rudy Gay trade sent Jose Calderon, Kyle Lowry said that now the Raptors were his team. And while that might be debatable, he's clearly got the talent to run a team at the point guard position.
Here's Lowry after the made shot from Stevenson. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. On the wing, Johnson. Johnson off the pick from DeRozan. Johnson, the pass to Lowry. Outside Lowry. West with the ball. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. The Pacers have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. We're back to Kyle Lowry, a good passer, also an amazing rebounder for a 6-foot-tall guard.
He's physical, doesn't mind throwing his weight around. He's confident. You can see how aggressive he is offensively, always looking to draw contact and get to the free throw line.
Here's West. Again, Indiana.
Well, that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active, be energetic, and react as soon as the shot goes up.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Kept alive, Valanciunas, and he drops in the layup off the glass. 1:14 left to play in the first quarter. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, I briefly spoke with Dwayne Casey. We talked about David West and what makes him such a tough player to defend. Coach said, West is special because he's so skilled for a player of his size and strength. He can score inside and also spread the floor with his shooting. He can have a quiet night and still drop 20 and 10. So we've got to stay conscious of him at all times. Guys, we'll see how they do against him.
All right, Doris. Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Mahinmi's checked in for Hibbert. Orlando Johnson comes in for Lance Stevenson. And it's Watson in for George Hill. Shot clock at 2. The 9-foot shot. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. Watson with it. Now guarded by Augustine. Watson's shot is good.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Yeah, taking advantage of the defense, really pounding it down low.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. Luis Scola, he's checked in for Indiana.
Luis Scola.
"20 seconds left to play here in the first. Good. Augustine's got himself on the board with 3 there. Pacers leading by 5. Johnson outside. Ross grabs the board. Augustine with it. Feeds it to Ross. From past the arc. No good. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Pacers lead by 5. And we welcome you back. Glad to have you with us as more basketball is on the way. During the break, the players getting refueled with Gatorade. We're looking amped up and ready to get going once again. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for Indiana.
Guys, their penetration has been outstanding. I mean, it's actually been great. They're really finding those holes in the defense.
Yeah, their passing has been terrific too, Clark. We're seeing a lot of assists, really moving, a lot of flow offensively. I like what I see.
Now Augustine, after the missed three from Watson, just 3 to shoot. From deep three-point range. Oh, trying for it, but he recovers it. Johnson dishes to Fields. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. This is his first free throw of the game.
It was certainly a slow start to the season for the Pacers. Their veteran and leading scorer, Danny Granger, was on the shelf with a knee injury, but somehow this team found its identity around defense and the emergence of some younger players that may serve them well going forward. You get Danny Granger back with the young, emerging talent, this team should contend for a while.
Rudy Gay's checked in for Terrence Ross. Now here is Augustine. Defense right on him. Gay outside. Shoots the 3. And good. Coming in on the assist by DJ Augustine. And Granger was able to come back for them for a stretch during the regular season, but eventually had to once again miss the rest of the games. But the team had grown to where, that probably didn't derail them, as it might have, Steve, in the Pacers.
Well, the big thing with the Pacers, Kevin, is that they have a lot of depth now across the roster. And with the emergence of Paul George, who kind of took Granger's spot, they were able to move on pretty well without him.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Roy Hibbert's checked in for Maheen, and George Hills subbed in for C.J. Watson. Pacers leading by 3. And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Gentlemen, as you know, Kyle Lowry was a former late first-round pick. Over his career, he's had to battle for his minutes, but it seems he's solidified his starting role with the Raptors, saying, quote, "I think I've broken into that second tier, and I'm trying to break into that first tier. I believe in myself. I believe in the work I put in every year. I'm not going to give myself a ceiling. Given opportunity, I will produce." And guys, he's shown he can score, pass, rebound, and defend. A lot to like.
Thanks, Doris.
Tremendous dedication to the game. It's great to remember just how far he's come.
And the basket by Hill.
Yeah, they're really doing a nice job of stringing together solid possessions and building that lead up.
That's the key, Steve. They'll stay in control of this game if they can just avoid any lulls going forward.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Up top to Rosen. He's guarded by Stevenson. Here's Hansbrough. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket.
Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. You've got to be relentless.
We've got 1:28 left in the second quarter.
Indiana had perhaps the toughest defense in the league. They just didn't have any weaknesses defensively. If you attacked them inside, they were able to challenge you at the rim. If you tried to shoot over them, they would challenge you with their length on the perimeter. And they didn't back down. So it's not a surprise they were near the top in every defensive category.
Lowry working against Scola. Lowry gets a screen from Valanciunas. And Lowry gets it to go. Now it's just a 3-point Indiana lead.
Well, the pick worked really well there. Nice job taking it right to the 10 for the layup.
And Clark, the numbers back up what you were saying about the Pacers. A lot of stat heads will look at opponents' effective field goal percentage as a measuring stick for defense. And the Pacers, Steve, were the best in the league at that.
Well, they passed the eye test, that's for sure, Kevin. I mean, they challenge every shot. They get out to the three-point line. They block shots at the rim. And there's a reason this team was so good at the defensive end.
You know, it appeared to be another season where the Raptors would be near the bottom of the league, but while the terms rock bottom and embarrassing floated around, they made some moves and were able to go on a run to climb towards the middle of the pack.
On deep, Stevenson gets it to go. Stevenson's got 5.
You know, defensively, you cannot forget about him. They gave him a wide open look there.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. There's the pick. Lowry with the ball. George picks him up. The shot by Lowry, no good.
Well defended, and he's not someone who responds well to that kind of defensive pressure.
And it's Hibbert missing. Gay with it. He feeds it to Hansbrough. Lowry kicks to Gay. Second quarter ends in a tight one. Pacers out in front, up by 4. And get ready now for the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce. The second half will be coming up right after that on 2K Sports.
Now, presented by Sprint.
The weekend is finally upon us, and on this Friday night, it's time for the halftime show. Indiana with the lead against Toronto. They've been relentless attacking the rim, dominating in points in the paint, and the bodies down low have been banging away. A valuable contribution from Roy Hibbert. He's got 5 points and also collected 4 rebounds. And for Toronto, they've been battling. This team's known for their offensive rebounding capability, and they're maxing it out in this one. Jonas Valanciunas playing well in the first half, and Rudy Gay is also making his presence felt.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. You have to like what we've been seeing from Stevenson.
Yeah, his performance really transcends the stat sheet, Kevin, because you look at it, not all that impressive, but he's made a huge impact.
Yeah, the numbers aren't huge, but he's been really solid. I mean, he's made some important plays for him, and that's what it takes to win. You can't always have guys just stuffing the stat sheet. Sometimes you need plays made that don't show up in the box score.
Lowry against Hill. Takes it from 10, and Lowry gets it to go. Lowry's got the first basket of the second half here for the Raptors.
One of the bright young head coaching stars in the league, Frank Vogel, took over the Pacers on an interim basis 3 seasons ago and immediately paid dividends. They had a strong finish to that season and his first season in a competitive first-round series against Chicago, and that success has continued to build and grow, and Frank Vogel deserves a lot of the credit.
Toronto trailing. DeMar DeRozan on the wing. For the tie, they grab their own miss, and they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
The fans don't like that call one bit.
Well, the officials got an earful as a result.
Back to Hibbert. And Valanciunas with the block. Fast break, Toronto. Lowry kicks to Gay. And that misses. That would have put him up. And Coach Vogel, the second youngest coach in the NBA last season, but he'd been working in the NBA for 15 years, Steve, prior to becoming a head coach.
Yeah, 5 years as a video coordinator, a couple seasons as an advanced scout, and then 8 years on the bench as an assistant. So he's definitely paid his dues and learned a lot on his way up the ladder. You know, he's got a quick trigger from that range when he senses that the defense has backed off.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. The Pacers making a switch here. Butler's checked in. Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in.
Well, no team likes to have their first-round pick belong to another team. It gets worse when you're a lottery team yourself and you're trying to build your talent base up. But the Raptors' number 12 pick in this summer's draft went to one of the elite teams in Oklahoma City.
For Toronto, they've gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. Toronto calls timeout. Well, Clark, as you said, the Thunder got the Raptors' first selection this last year. Only the way the Raptors would have been able to hang on to it was, Steve, if they jumped up to the top 3 in the lottery.
And as bad as it might seem for the Raptors to not have a first, I mean, and it is bad, it was as good as any other time for them to not have a first-round pick because the draft wasn't deep, and the Raptors have a lot of young talent already and that they can make improvement with.
6 to shoot. Here's DeRozan. Gets the bucket. And it's a 4-point Raptor lead.
Boy, they are just destroying them in the paint.
You could say that again, Steve. The defenders just aren't aggressive enough down low.
It's back to Hill. Lowry covering. They need this. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Hill's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Well, George Hill, one of those unique stories, playing with his hometown Indiana Pacers. He's a native of Indianapolis and Broad Ripple High School. Was drafted by the Spurs, played in their system for 3 years out in San Antonio, and was acquired by the Pacers in a draft day trade back in 2011, and it's worked out well for both teams.
And prior to last season, the Pacers signing George Hill to a 5-year, $40 million extension.
He's a good player, a really good combo guard, can shoot it well from distance, can run a team, maybe not a traditional point guard, but somebody who can help you win. I think it was a good move for the Pacers.
Landry Fields checking in for the Raptors. Lowry for 3, and that one's good. Lowry's got 5 points now this quarter.
And defensively, they're starting to look for answers because ever since halftime, they've been disjointed out there.
Butler, defended by Valanciunas. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
Boy, just battled through that initial impact and somehow willed it in.
Excellent concentration. That's what you like to see.
The Raptors making a switch here. Gay's checked in. Fields. And the shot is good. And the Raptors lead by 4.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
Yeah, the defense has been futile here. 5 of the last 6 field goals in the lane.
The finger roll finish at the bucket.
But the drive to the bucket was nice, but how about the finger roll finish? Beautiful.
The Raptors have gone 6 of 8 on field goal attempts in the third. A 75% clip. Lowry kicks to Gay from the arc. The rebound by Paul George.
Rebounds are split just about down the middle in this game, Clark.
I'd venture to guess whichever team is able to maintain that energy level on the glass will have the upper hand the rest of the way.
He dishes it to West. Johnson on him to tie. He takes it up and rings it in. That's 7 points for David West.
Well, they certainly didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Well, that's important because this game, I think, is going to be decided by who controls the paint in crunch time.
Third quarter comes to a close, and a battle brings it to a tie. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Toronto's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Johnson against Augustine. Kicks it to DeRozan. The dish now to Johnson. Shot clock at 6. Back to DeRozan. That one falls. Coming off the Johnson feed. DeRozan's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Raptors. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Well, you know what they say, lose track of your man and you'll find him at the rim. Well, you'll actually find this guy in the corner.
Yeah, you said it, more than fond of those corner triples, isn't he? Hey, it's a high percentage shot. It's the shortest of the three-point shots you can take, and he's not the only one that likes it.
Tyler Hansbrough's checked in from Amir Johnson.
They've got the lead despite pretty cold shooting from the field in the first half, and now they're beginning to find their groove.
Well, this is a team capable of getting hot, and if they do, they're going to really extend this lead.
Gay kicks to Augustine. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Gay, that's good.
And a nice jump for their offense in the second half. They're now up above 50% shooting for the game.
And Steve, it's no surprise to see them in the lead. I mean, when you score efficiently like that, you keep a lot of pressure on the other team.
Johnson can't get it to go.
That's some more rugged play from them inside. They have a decent edge in rebounds thus far.
And that hard work on the boards needs to continue. That could be what swings this game eventually.
It's Gay with the drive, and another basket for Toronto.
And this game has really heated up. I didn't think it could get any more high scoring than it already was.
Well, there's always room for more offense, Steve. You know that.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Kevin, I was able to hear the advice Frank Vogel gave to his team during that last break. He really wants them to try to push the tempo here, see if they can get a few easy buckets in transition, saying, listen, we're playing station to station right now. Let's try to catch them off guard, guys. Let's see if they can do exactly that, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. West, that's good.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
Lowry against Hill. They double him with George. Lowry for three. Gets it to go. And the Raptors lead by 8.
He is pouring it on in the second half, guys. I mean, a much better showing than he had before the break.
The feed to Mahimi. Indiana moving the ball around. The three from Hill. And Indiana, another three.
This is great. Three-pointers going down quickly at both ends.
Yeah, it took them no time to answer back on that possession.
Pass to Hansbrough. 1:19 left to play here in the fourth. Raptors need to get a shot off. Here's Gay. It's rebounded by Mahimi.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Count that one.
Neither team having any trouble putting the ball in the basket.
Nope, not. I mean, we haven't seen much defense either. I mean, both of these teams really locked in and trying to outscore each other.
Roy Hibbert's checked in for Ian Mahimi. Lowry with the ball. He's picked up by Hill. Hit his foot. And they're saying he kicked the ball. DeRozan passes to Lowry. Gay outside.
And he continues to search for his rhythm. It's eluded him to this point.
Can't get it to go. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Inside. No good from Gay.
That's not an opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Pass to George. To tie it up. It falls. A tremendous three to tie it up.
Oh, that is a massive shot.
You know it is. He's stepping right into the spotlight.
Now here is Lowry. Dishes to Gay. Defended by George. Fades back. Oh, no good. Second chance shot. Oh, missed it. That will count. Oh, no good there. The potential game winner off the mark. Regulation is ended and we're heading to overtime. And what great competition we're seeing so far. After 4 quarters, a stalemate. And we'll see now how these two teams and these few minutes of basketball pan out. Stevenson working against DeRozan. And that one goes long.
Boy, for my taste, he's far too inconsistent with that shot. I mean, he's got to make those if he's going to take his game to the next level.
Can't get it to go. Excellent D there from George. Hibbert kicks to Stevenson. Pass to George to take the lead, and it's good. George has got the first basket here in overtime for the Pacers.
The D has gotten a little lax defending the three-point shot at that end.
Agreed, Clark. They poured in 3 of the last 5 baskets on pretty open looks behind the arc.
Outside George. Here's Stevenson. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
Well, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
Lowry dishes to Gay. Outside for Lowry. Back to Gay. Looking to get back outside.
Oh, down there. Man. I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
I'm with you, Kevin. You can't fault him for that. Just let him go. Who cares?
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Lowry drives in. Here's Johnson, and it's sent back by George. And they go to the intentional foul. They can more or less wrap it up right here.
Yeah, as long as they concentrate, get a good look at the basket, make this a smart possession, they should be in good shape.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. Toronto's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the 3-ball here. Gay with it. George picks him up. Another miss by Gay.
He was right there, but the defensive pressure forced that miss.
Well contested. That really made it a tough shot.
A nice shot by George.
Well, this is going to seal the deal. They've really exploded here to the finish line.
You know, once they sniffed out that blood in the water, the killer instinct came right out.
Johnson up top, defended by Mahinmi. And Gray backs down. He kicks it to Augustine. Fader on the way. So it's Indiana picking up the win. You know, Clark, they couldn't put him away in regulation, but after a superb performance in overtime, they managed to get the job done.
Yeah, just an amazing game, but they pulled away at the end.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA.